Hello, this is Mrs. Poland for Algebra 2, Lesson 2.03. In this video, I'm going to go over just a couple of additional examples for tonight's 2.03 homework because some of the problems may look a little different. And so let's look at this first example. 49x squared minus 4 times x squared minus 7. So there are a couple of ways you can handle this. Let's take a look at one way is we can factor 49x squared minus 4 further to 7x minus 2. We're going to use dots. 7x plus 2. How do I know it's dots? 49 is a perfect square, x squared is a perfect square, and 4 is a perfect square. And so you have two terms with a minus, so we can factor that using dots. And then we have x squared minus 7, and now it's fully factored. So we're going to set each factor equal to 0 and solve. Seven x is equal to 2. X is equal to 2/7. Subtract 2 from both sides. 7x is equal to negative 2. X is equal to negative 2/7. Add 7 to both sides. This is an incomplete quadratic. We talked about that earlier. How do I know it's an incomplete quadratic? It's missing that middle term. And so how you solve an incomplete quadratic equation is you get the x squared on one side and the constant on the other, and then take the square root of it, and you get x is equal to plus or minus 7. So my solutions are plus or minus 2/7 and plus or minus square root of 7. Now, that's one way you can get the answer. You could have also done, like for that, just on a side note, and we'll literally write this on the side. If you didn't like factoring the 49x squared minus 4 as dots, because it's also an incomplete quadratic equation, if you chose to do this, you could have added 4 to both sides. Well, let me back it up a bit. You could have gone 49x squared minus 4 equals 0. 49x squared is equal to 4. X squared, divide both sides by 49. X squared is equal to 4 over 49. And then taking the square root. Now, if you don't like taking the square root in your head, you can always go ahead and enter the square root of 4 over 49 in your calculator. And the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 49 is 7. And notice you get the same answer. And it really doesn't matter which way you do it. You have to do the way that feels comfortable. And I think why some students had problems with the first one is it did look a little different. This was a lot, more challenging than the one that I had done in class because it had that extra 49 in front. So if you didn't recognize it, it could look confusing. The next problem I'm going to go over is this cubic. So they want you to solve by factoring. And the first thing you should notice about this problem is like the terms are out of order. So let's put it back into order. And what do I mean by order? The standard form of a polynomial, you need to put the terms in highest degree to lowest degree. And what do I mean by degree? The exponent this is the highest exponent, 3, 2, 1, and there's no constant. The next thing you want to do is always factor out the GCF. In fact, if you see a negative, you want to factor it out. So I'm going to factor out not only a negative, but a negative x. Negative x cubed divided by negative x is x squared. 7x squared divided by negative x squared, 7 divided by negative 1 is negative 7x. Negative 12 divided by negative 1 is positive 12 equals 0. So it's still not factored totally, so we have that GCF out, that's one factor, but now we want to factor this other piece, and it's a trinomial with the leading coefficient is 1, and we give this, the method, the x game, right? We're looking to find two terms that add to the middle and multiply out to 12. So we put 12 here, and we put the negative 7 here. Notice that there's a positive here. That means both signs are the same, and they're going to match whatever the sign's here. So what are factors of 12? 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 4 and 3, and that's it. And we know that both have to be negative because we need a positive number, and that middle term is negative. So which one of these sums to negative 7, negative 4, and negative 3? So now we're getting there. So this becomes x minus 4, x minus 3. And now we're going to set each factor equal to 0. And it really is a step-by-step process. And it gets faster the more practice you do. 0 divided by negative 1 is 0. X is equal to 4. X is equal to 3. So the factors are 0, 3, and 4. I hope this is helpful, and I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye.